Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening to you. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. You're warmly welcome to day two of the mid-year conference organized by PCD Academy. Please let me know if you can see me and hear my voice. It's my pleasure to be here today. Thank you all for joining us yesterday. Let's do it together again today. So let me know where you're watching from and just drop a comment just to let us know we are together. You can say hello, you can say hi, you can say good evening. Let's just know we are together. I am still waiting for you. Please drop a comment. Please drop a comment. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day two of Media Conference organized by PCD Academy. We are going to be having our guests coming very soon. But before we do that, I would love us to do a recap of what we did yesterday. Okay, thank you, Benga Samuel. Thank you, Joseph Elifson. Thank you, Grace Jafflet. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please let us know where you're watching from. So while we are waiting for our guests, I would like to do a recap of what we did yesterday. Yesterday was the day one of this conference. It's just a 2-day conference. And yesterday was the day one where we had Kenneth Joyce, who is a seasoned HR practitioner. She came on board yesterday to teach us a lot about how we can use social media as our modern day CV. She said a lot of things around it. And one of it is that social media is one of the tools that employers use to assess you. They want to know you beyond your CV. They want to know you beyond the job, uh, beyond your experience, beyond your qualification, beyond your skills and everything you have written in your CV. They want to know you beyond that. So they go through your social media account to really know who you are, to determine what your personality is and whether your personality is going to fit in for the kind of job you are supposed to do. So it now boils down to the fact that social media is not just something you need to play with. I will actually recommend that job seeker, every job seeker, every business owner have a social media presence. Because I am not saying if you don't have a social media presence, you will not get a job. Good evening from Layo Mawumi. Thank you for joining. I'm not saying if you don't have a social media presence, you will not get a job. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you have a social media presence and your employers or your prospective employers are able to assess you on social media, it will give you some kind of edge, or it will boost your chances or your chance of getting the job because they know you beyond just your CV. They just want to dig down to your personality and know who exactly you are. There was a time I went for an interview and I was invited for an interview, and I was told we are going to be doing the interview in an hotel. And I was wondering, hotel interview, how come now? But well, no problem. So I got dressed for the interview, I got prepared, and I went to the hotel. I was actually thinking we'll be using the boardroom of the hotel. It's a 5-star, it's a very big 5-star hotel in Lekki in Lagos. So when I got there, I met with the interviewer. It's just one person. So He asked me to sit down. So we sit down at a lounge. You know, we just sat there. He asked me, what do I want? Tea, coffee, or water? Okay, I said I want water. I don't want to do like, I'm hungry now. When it's not as if I've never drank tea before or I've never drank tea before, you know. So we sat down in the corridor and we were just chit-chatting. And I was like, is this one interview too? So, you know, he was asking me about, okay, tell us about yourself. Thank you, Joseph Elipson. Thank you for sharing the video. Please, you can also help us share this video so that more people can see it. If you're watching from Facebook, please help us share the video. So, you know, we were having this chit chat. So he asked me, are you married? How many children do you have? Tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your growing up. How many siblings do you have? You know, tell me about your secondary school friends. You know, he was asking me about things that has nothing to even do about the job. And I was wondering, I came for an accountant role. You are asking me about my family, about my job, about my siblings, about my childhood, what my favorite hobby, what do I do when I'm not busy? You know, he was just asking me random questions. So at the end of the interview, he asked me, okay, tell us about your skills, your experience, and your qualifications. So I told him, but I tell you, most of the interview was based on knowing me as a person, knowing my personality. So let me tell you something. Getting a job has gone beyond you just carrying CV up and down. You need, please help me type in the comment section, you need to have a social media presence. It's not negotiable. If you're a job seeker, even if you're a business owner, people want to Google you, people want to research you before they part with their money with you. They want to know few things about you online. So Joyce was able to tell us all that yesterday. She told us about the kind of content we share. She told us about how we should tidy up our bio, your professional picture, your display picture, your cover photo, you know, so many things around your social media account, because you can actually use the social media as a CV. As a matter of fact, if you're on LinkedIn and you want to apply for a job, in fact, you don't even need to submit a CV, because LinkedIn profile already is a CV on its own. You have your about there, you have your school, the schools you've attended before, you have all your job experiences, you have your skills, all your expertise, everything is on your LinkedIn. So even when you are applying on LinkedIn for a job, you don't even need to submit any CV, because your LinkedIn account or your LinkedIn profile has already captured the whole of your personality, of your skills, of your experience, and all of that. So you will now agree with me that having a social media presence at this age and time, it's not just important. I will tell you, it is compulsory. Yes, I said so. It is compulsory. And it's not just about having anyhow social media. Oh, they said we should have social media account, oh, and you just have the account. 3 years, you don't even put anything on it. Thank you, Madam Aminat. Thank you from Lion Mowumi. Thank you, everyone who's sharing this video. Please can also help us share this video. My guest is already here, but before I bring her in, the last thing that Joyce said yesterday, she was able to share some tips with us, some interview tips and some job hunting tips. So if you missed the live video for yesterday, please, I will implore you to go and watch the replay. The replay is on this page. If you are watching from YouTube, the replay is on YouTube. If you are watching from Facebook, the replay is on our page, PCD Academy page on Facebook. So you can always access it and, you know, have a full glimpse of what Kenneth Joyce talked about yesterday. So you're warmly welcome to today's episode. And we are going to be diving straight into business. I have with me today one of us. I call her one of us because she is one of the directors of PCD Academy. You all know that PCD Academy is the one organizing this event, this conference. Normally, we have this conference twice in a year. We have it middle of the year, which is June, and we have it end of the year, which is December. So middle of the year, we want to assume that, oh, the first 6 months of the year is gone. How can you make up for all the things you could not do in the first 6 months? How can you make up for it in the last 6 months of the year? So as you are going to the second half of this year, this conference is just to charge you to do more. So we're going to be talking at length today. We're going to be having 2 sessions. Our first guest will have the first session, then I will come around later for the second session. I will implore you not to go away. Stick to this video, stick to this channel, stick to this page so that you can get the full glimpse of what we have for you today. So without much ado, I will go straight into bringing in our guest. But before I do that, I would like to introduce her to you. So the name of our guest today is Francisca Isi Igoche, and she has HND in marketing, stroke business administration from Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State. She has certificate in e-technology computing from NIIT. Though she's a fashion designer and event organizer, she has gone through series of online courses, which includes personality development, copywriting, content creation, public speaking, leadership, and data entry analysis. Francisca's passion for human capital development earned her 2 prestigious awards in 2019. She has been involved in girl child advocacy and teens mentoring. Recently, she started self-discovery advocacy. Having gone through the transformation herself, she seeks to help others, especially girls. Our vision in the next 10 years is to clothe 5,000 orphans with brand new outfits while equally empowering youths, young girls with skills in the area of fashion designing and branding. She currently works as the director of programs and events at PCD Academy, which is Personal and Career Development Academy. She is married with 2 wonderful children, and together they are working towards a more peaceful and prosperous world. Join me with clapping ovation, with standing ovation, as I bring to the stage Madam Francisca.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Good to have you. Yes, I can.
Thank you.
I
feel so wonderful. I feel as if I'm in the air.
Oh. You're welcome. I'm very sure we're going to have a
good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Good to see you again after Tiba 2020.
It's always been on WhatsApp, and most of the time we just chat. We don't usually do phone calls and videos.
So
you're welcome once again. She's going to be talking to us in the next 30 to 45 minutes about how to achieve more with little time. And she's also going to be talking to us on how to work under pressure. You know, a lot of people will complain, oh, I don't have so much time. No, it's the same 24 hours that you have that Dangote has. It's the same 24 hours that Muhammadu Buhari has. Everybody in this world, we have 24 hours. So why is your own time not enough? Why are others achieving more with their own 24 hours and you're not achieving more with yours? So I am going to be handing over the microphone to her as I exit the stage. Thank
you. Okay. Thank you so very much Thank you so very much once again. I hope I'm being heard. Mita, please, I'd like you to let me know if I'm being heard, because I don't see any comments here. I'd like to know if I'm being heard.
Yes, we can hear you. Please, people watching us from home, please help us put in the comments if you can hear her. And anytime you can't hear her again, please also let us know that you cannot hear her again. It's very important, you know, so that she's not speaking to herself. I can hear her, but I would love to also know if you can hear her. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening once again, and welcome to day 2 of our PCD Academy's media conference. Well, it's been so wonderful. Yesterday was really thrilling, and I learned so much from Joyce, Kenneth. It was so wonderful. It was so awesome. And there's one thing that keeps striking right from when Joyce was speaking yesterday, and also when Minta Omobabiri was also talking before introducing me. It has to do with personality. You know, a lot of people, all over, way back, or most people before now actually took little interest in trying to understand what personality is all about. And just like Joyce was giving an instance yesterday when, was it Joyce or Mita? I can't remember. Who was about a story of someone who was asked to about her strength and her weakness during her job interview, and she gave an answer which, of course, didn't end her job. Years ago, I had a friend who also went for an interview. She passed the written interview. Then it was time for the oral. Then she was now asked, "What are your strengths and weaknesses?" Or what are your weaknesses? They didn't ask for strengths. So what are your weaknesses? She said, "I don't have any weakness, sir. I don't have any weaknesses at all." And then they said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Okay, you hear from us." When she got back home, she told me, and I said, "Girl, forget it. You're not going to be called. Even though you did so well, you're not going to be called." And she wasn't till today. This was about 6 years ago. So, um, as a start of today, I'm going to be talking more in the light of our personality, understanding our personality in achieving more, doing doing what we have to do in little time. One thing you have to know first is know yourself. Well, I'm going to be going straight to the bullet points of what I have today. We all know what it is to work. You're either in an employed setting, or you are a business person, or you have a business running. One way or the other, you all have things you're doing, utilizing your time, utilizing the time of the day. So, but one thing you need to understand with the work you have to do, or you're doing, is for you to know who you are, understand your person, your personality, and to ensure that what you are doing goes well with your person. A lot of us tend to like get ourselves involved in some things because we see other people getting involved in them, but you don't take time to find out if it's something you can do, or if it's something you cannot do. And knowing what you can do and what you cannot do boils down to your personality. I'm not going to be talking about what personality here is. Here we have a whole lot of resources on the internet to tell us about our personality. So in you doing whatever you have to do, you have to understand yourself, know who you are, know what you can do, know your strengths, know what you can carry. No, I mean, you know what you are good at. Because if you find yourself when you find yourself doing some things that takes a whole lot of time or energy from you, it may just be because you're not cut out of for that kind of job or business or whatever it is, and you just discover you wasted time and you're not even achieving anything. You're wasting time and you're not accomplishing anything. So you really have to understand you. Don't look at your peers, don't look at those around you achieving so much and you feel, okay, I can do all things. No, you can't do all things. When you want to say you can do all things, it has to be, it's in a contest. Now, a medical doctor cannot see an engineer working or achieving some things, and he now comes and said, "Yes, even as a medical doctor, I can do all things." What? You want to leave your own profession to go and do all things because in the line of engineering, because you feel you can do all things, you will goof. So you need to understand that, know that your personality plays a whole lot in you achieving more in less time. Why? Because you're building in your strength to be able to carry you into what you are doing. And another thing is understanding your most productive hours, your most productive period. Okay, I may not be able to say much about understanding your most productive period for those who are in paid employment. Why? Because you have to leave your homes at a particular point in time in the morning to come back home in the evenings. That is what they call the this 9 to 5 or 8 to 6. Regime. You just have to flow with it because that's what you are. But for those who are in businesses, those for those who are in their various businesses and um, own their businesses and does things that is not restricted to organizations, you can ascertain your most productive time, hours of the day. Okay, they say 5 a.m. I think 5 a.m. has been used as a standard time for wake up. Wake up standard time for you to get up and start your day. You know, but the truth is that it doesn't work for everybody. Personally, my 5 a.m. is when my night starts. Why? Because I'm a night person. I work better. I mean, once I work, my most energized time of the day for me to do my work, both online stuff, both physical. If it has to do with my sewing or anything I have to do, it's always I've discovered long ago that it's always between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5. So when 5 o'clock, when people are waking up, that is when I go to bed. So it's paramount for you to really understand when. To some people, it could be in the afternoon. Some people, it could be early, the first 6 hours of the day, maybe six. That's 6 a.m. to 12. You need to study, the cycle of time for you to know when is more productive, so that you won't go and push what you have to do in those hours that you are not energized to do your work. So, and that's about that. You just need to, you know create your own normal. You don't have to be conventional. You don't have to follow the status quo that has been there. It when you can create your own um, 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 normal. That's when you can create your own time. But like I said, if you are in the 9 to 5 hour job, maybe you also need to understand when you are more energetic in your office, so that when you get to the office very early in the morning, you sit down and begin your task, so that um, much later in the day, you're not going to be too bothered. That way you're already understanding how you're going to set your day, so that you won't get too clumsy at the end of the day. Um, I hope I'm communicating. Like I said, I can't see any comments, so I really do hope I am communicating. So, another thing is prioritize your tasks, break down your activities, break down, you know, um, whatever you're given to do or whatever you have to do, break it down. Don't just start doing everything at once. Don't just mumble up everything. When you break your tasks, divide them into sections, into what will I call it now, divide them into portions, and then start with the most important and the most urgent ones. You know, Sometimes we see ourselves having things to do, but the truth of the matter is that a lot of things that a lot of activities surrounding the tasks that we have to do, you know, have the most urgent, most important, the least urgent, least important, or not even urgent nor important at all. So if you're not able to break down, prioritize your tasks, your activities for the day or for certain period into your most urgent and your most important, you'll discover that you feel as if you've not done anything. You feel as if you've not achieved anything. So you really have to decide to take you have to decide on the tasks that you should do by yourself. Maybe they are most important and most urgent and needs your hands on it. So you have to decide that you are going to do those ones, and then you also have to decide that you delegate. That is another area where we have problem. We tend to want to do everything. I can do all things. I can do all things. Recently, we've been seeing cases of people just slowing, even you know, I'm a Christian, recently this year alone, I know the number of pastors that I have witnessed who just, not, maybe they slept and never woke up. They just, my uncle, a year ago, he slept and he didn't wake up. He wasn't age, he wasn't sick, you know, and, just like that they keep, because they keep overburdening themselves, they keep doing so much and delegating, little or nothing at all. You can't kill yourself. Just like you're not even supposed to, because if you kill yourself on the tax, then what would you say you stand to achieve? So you really have to learn to delegate. There are ways of delegate to those around you. If you're in a business, if you own a business, you need to have specific number of employees that you can break some tasks and activities for them to handle. If you work in an office, in a company, in an employment place, definitely you should have subordinates under you, so you don't have to want to show yourself that yes, you're the ones that don't know that you're working, you're doing that. Let them see that you did everything. Mm-mm. If you anything happens to you, those one of your subordinates to come and take your position. So you have to learn how to delegate, to them. Let them do some things for you. That's some of the least important or not too important. You delegate it out, and or sometimes you even need to delete the ones that are not even important at all. You delete them. It's what you want to do. The activities you're involved with. So it's left for you to sit down and prioritize, break everything down, and know what to take away and what to work on. Okay. Set completion boundary. When you break down your task, when you break down your activities, when you break down set a boundary for that. If maybe you divided your task to A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure one is completed, totally done and dusted before you move to two, because you need to take you really need to take serious note of what you are doing. You need to observe that you are really doing the right thing, at that point in time. Complete it, let it be done, let it be set apart before you go for number two or part B. So make sure you set that boundaries that okay, I will not jump to two until I'm done with one. And in setting that boundary, make sure you also have a timeline. Don't just like if it's like a project you have to do in 3 months. Now you have broken that project of 3 months into 6 or 7 segments. Now, within that 3 months, 3 months, you have to spread your time boundary. You have a timeline, for you that you'll be able to achieve each of the tasks, depending on the bulkness of that segment or the urgency of that segment. Set your completion boundary. Don't jump into the next one while the previous one is not complete, because it will make you look unprofessional and it will make you look so clumsy and unserious. And if you're working in an organization and your boss gives you a task to do with a timeline to achieve it. Maybe the box is just waiting for you that, okay, I need you to do and so this. I need it in the next 2 weeks. Now you it's now left for you to sit down and break it down and then have a talk with your boss and say, look, you want to do this in these steps, in this way, and I want to come and present each step to you. Now when you do so, you discover that it's no it is some no well, it depends on the relationship you have with your boss. He may not be interested, but it's left for you to make him understand why you're doing it, or make him see reason why you want to do it that way, for him to see each step as you complete with it. I tell you, by the time you show him the first, second, and third, he will be so thrilled. It will be to him as if you have already finished everything. And to you, the time when you're doing that, you now discover that you're so energized to do it. You won't even realize that you're spending time. Everything will be so compacted to you that it will now look as if you achieved everything you had to do long before the set time you were supposed to submit. So learn how to make everything professional for you. Set a boundary and complete that each segment before you move to the next one. Okay. I can't remember if I actually did the introduction of what I was really talking about. Okay, I remember Mita actually said it. I'm talking about how to do more in less time, and also how to work under pressure. Now, I tend to tag these two as a time management and stress management. Now, if you're able to understand how you manage the stress that you think or you feel you have around you, you can also work on your time management effectively. And sometimes we tend to also get ourselves involved in activities that are unproductive when we ought to be working on our tasks. You know, there's so many barriers, to accomplishing what you have to do in little or no time. There are distractions out there. It's so much. We're in the fast world right now. So much distractions taking us away from what we're supposed to be doing. It's now left for you to know whether you give in to that distraction or not, because you have to prove your productivity. And if you get yourself distracted every time, and one of our distraction is phone, Facebook, internet, Instagram, TikTok, blah blah blah, all those, we always tend to get ourselves distracted. And what we don't realize, and sometimes it happens to me sometimes, and I really had to check myself to put it under control. I'll be on the social media and I won't know. I won't even realize, the thing has a way of doing you that you won't even realize that you are using up precious time. You won't even realize that you are wasting time. Then at the end of the day, you're now begin to feel so pressured that that you don't have time to do what you're supposed to do. You need to learn how to avoid those distractions. And when you do, definitely, you know that you're going to achieve so much. Another thing, um, when you break down your tasks, when you segment what you have to do, or all the tasks you have to do, and, and you complete each one segment, try and celebrate yourself. I mean, try and give gratitude for that job completed at that point in time. You don't have to wait till the end of the whole task for you to celebrate that achievement, that accomplishment. Try and give yourself that pat on the back and gratitude for being able to complete that small um, part of the task. And I tell you, that alone is an energy boost for you to finish up everything, and you won't even know that you have spent time doing anything. It won't even seem as if you have spent time on any task at all, because giving gratitude has a way of uplifting you, has a way of relieving you. And if you think your stress, giving gratitude for what you are doing have a way of lifting up your spirit to be able to go smoothly in doing the other part of it. And talking about stress, or talking about working under pressure, it depends on you what you consider to be pressure. It depends on you what you consider to be stress, because the pressure is always there. It's a normal thing. It's a natural um occurrence, to always be there. It could be your peer pressure, could be those around you seeing other people's successes. It could be trying to raise a standard for yourself, your lifestyle. It could be anything, you know. Now, the way you see that pressure, if you see it as you either see it as a challenge or a threat. Now, if you see it as a challenge, it's definitely going to help you. It's going to, boost you up and give you all the energy and the moral that you need to walk what you, to walk your walk. But if you see it as a threat, of course, we know threat is a negative part of it. It's a killjoy. It will kill your joy. It will break you down. It will make you feel so unappreciated. It will make you look so unaccomplished. It could do 1,001 damage to you. So your perception matters a lot and can affect your performance. Like I said, if you see it as a challenge, you see it as this is I'm trying to get something, and I'm going to get it because I it is in line with my strength, and I'm working towards it, and I will do it. But if you see it as a trait, you have so many thoughts in all, I mean, all the thoughts of defeat will come to you that you might not even have time to even do anything for yourself. And this thing in, is a it has to do with growth mindset. Is a mindset thing. Is a mindset thing. And when you give yourself that opportunity to grow your mindset, to grow positively, you'll see that The pressure that you think you feel is even there for you, is even there to energize you, is there to energize you. And if you feel um, if you feel that you're being pressured, or if you think everything around you is pressuring you in doing what you have to do, you need to calm down and identify what you value. Because the person you're looking at, or the success you're looking at, may have come with its own values, and it might be different from yours. So you can't keep looking at other people's successes or accomplishments or whatever, and um, begin to feel or bring yourself down. You really need to identify what you value. You need to identify your own belief system. You know, I'm only trying. I'm only giving bullet points on all this now because I can't talk extensively on them. You need to definitely you all need, you understand what it is by your own value, having your own value. So you need to know your own personal to yourself, your own value. Yours is can be different from mine. Definitely Omobabiri's value is different from mine. So I'm walking in the sphere of my own value, just as she is, of my own belief system, just as she is, of my own personality, just as she is. And so it has to be for you. You know, it's not a one rule. It's not a one kind of rule fits for all. It varies with everybody. It varies with individuals. And also, you need to recognize how you feel. How do you want to feel? Now you see what you're doing, you see the work around you, you see what you consider as pressure around you. How do you want to feel? Okay, you have to go on with that work or that task or that job. Now at the end of it, how do you want to feel? You have to identify it, that when I finish this thing, no matter how it comes out, how do I want to feel? Recognize that at the initial stage, it will help you go ahead and work to completion whatever you have to do, because you don't waiting to end it or waiting to finish it or before you know thinking feeling good or feeling whatever might make the time stretch of what you're doing so far and tiring for you. So at the start of it all, sit down and identify how you want to feel. And of course, you want to feel good. Everybody wants to feel good at the end of whatever they do. No matter the outcome, determine to feel good at your performance. Determine to feel good, and it will help you. It will help you conquer the pressure or the stress that you feel around you, and make decisions as much as possible that resonates with you. This thing has to do with your personality. This thing has to do with your value system. Make sure what you are doing, the decision you take concerning you, in concerning whatever work you have to do, make sure it resonates with you. Don't take decisions based on what your peer or your colleague or whoever is around you has taken that works for him or her, because you only see outwardly, you don't know what must have been going on inwardly. So you need to it looks all these things we're saying now may looks as if it's tasking, but sometimes you need to sit down and speak to yourself. Yes, that is even a form of stress reliever, you know and in speaking to yourself, it helps you to make decisions in what you have to do, and what you um and what you have to do, and how you have to go towards what you have to do. And Another thing is don't react. We hear that. I think, and I'm sure you must have heard that so much time. Don't react immediately to things, to situation, to that pressure. Don't react. Always take time to sit back, review it, and then respond. Reactions is different from responding. You don't when you react immediately, you don't you the end of the time. It doesn't come out positive. But when you take time to sit down to review everything, and you now calm down and you're not able to respond respectively. And when you think you're nervous, sometimes you always want to do something. You're so nervous. You know, the truth is that it is, we see it as a negative thing that will not, or that nervousness, we'll see it so negatively. Okay, when you feel or when you think you're nervous about doing something, change that mindset of nervousness and get excited about it. Like, for instance, now you're asked to come and do a presentation, just like what I'm doing now. Of course, I was nervous. I think this is my first physical online presentation that I've ever had. I've always been doing audio. Of course, I was. There is this thing to come, but I had to like put it down and say, oh wow, I'm so excited. I'm going to be, side by side with Omoba Bibi today. I'm excited. And a lot of people are going to see me. So I'm excited, And so whatever you have to do, whatever, just um bring down that nervous of feeling and convert it to excitement. Um I think I believe I wasn't really looking at the time, so I don't know how long I've spent. So, Omabiri, can you?
Yeah, you are good. Thank you very much for that wonderful session from
Okay.
how we can manage our time to get the best out of it, down to and manage stress. So we'd love to throw the floor open to everyone. Let's know if you have any question. Let's know if you have any question so that we can release our guests. So, but in addition to what you said, you talked about delegation. Now,
Yeah.
I want to say some things to that. A lot of us, we don't help other people when they need help. And when we also need help, we want people to help us. Oh, it's like that. You are in
Yeah.
your shell. You don't want to move out. You don't want to have anything to do with anyone. Oh, volunteer. You say I'm not there. Oh, help us, coordinate, collaborate. You say no, no. By the time you want to do yours, there'll be a problem. Even at work, if you help other people in the office, they have something they want to do. Probably you notice they have a lot of workload, and you say, okay, can I help you with some of them? The day you will also be in a tight corner, they will also be willing to help you. So
Yeah.
when you want to stay in your corner, it's not going to help you. You need to know that it's not going to help you. Move out of your shell, help other people, collaborate, volunteer, partner, so that when it is time for you to delegate, you will see people to delegate to. Because
Mm.
it's not easy for people to come and do your work for you.
Yeah.
So that is number one. And a lot of times, especially we that we are choleric, we believe that people cannot do our job up to expectation. We want to do everything by ourselves. We just chest everything and say, let me do it. Oh, you cannot do it very well.
I can do all things.
I can do all this that strengthen me. Some people will tell you, you can't wash my clothes for me, or if you wash it,
Yeah.
it will satisfy me. It won't be clean in my eyes. I'm like,
Yeah. I actually, though I'm not choleric, but I actually used to be like that. I'll say, I don't know, nobody can do this. But man, I mean, nobody needs to tell me now because I'm even
because you
looking for
want to share
someone
a lot
who,
of them.
even in Charles at home, I'm even looking for a cook that I'll be paying to be doing it because you have to, you really can't do all things. You just
You
keep
don't
making
want to
noise.
die.
You can do. Of course, now I don't
Just
want
like
that
you said,
now.
a lot of
I
people
cannot keep
dropped
myself.
dead this year. A lot of people that
Yeah,
you yourself know, even last year,
yeah,
prominent people that we all know. The slum,
yeah,
if a very big woman, she went to Port Harcourt for a job, she slept, she did not wake up. And even this situation of not sleeping or waking up is not too much. It's not too rampant
it,
these days. That is why you need to check
yeah, it
the
is.
way you use yourself. Do not overuse
Yeah,
yourself. So I want to talk about this one. You also said that you want to get someone that will be cool. That is outsourcing. So apart from delegation is, oh, can you help me do this without paying them? Just like I said, oh, Madam Francisca, take care of this part of this event. Miss Blessing, you take care of this. I delegate, and people are willing to collaborate and help. That one is separate. But there are times you also have to outsource.
outsource. Yes, you outsource if you have to. Yeah,
Yes, pay people and let them
yeah,
do it for you,
yeah,
and focus on the more important things.
yeah.
You
More
understand?
important and
A
more
lot of us,
urgent.
yes, if you don't want, like for women especially, we overuse ourselves. And that is why you see a lot of women, they grow so old than their age. And you will keep asking them, are you the
Yeah,
mother of your husband? Because they look so aged and they will be looking so unkempt. We want to do everything. Okay,
yeah,
agreed. You don't want anybody to live with you. You don't want them to snatch your husband. You don't want them to be the seducing your husband. Okay, good. What about getting someone to cook for you? Come on Saturdays, come in the morning, go to the market, cook. I put it in the freezer. The one you can put, the one you can that will not get spoiled, you keep it, and at least for 3-4 days, it will last you before you can
yeah,
start thinking, oh, I want to cook again. Even if you have to cook within that 4 days, it will be minimal. It will be just maybe you want to boil rice, or you want just to make spaghetti, or you want just to make noodles. No, it will be very reduced. So even for some of us, oh, a washing machine will not wash clothes clean for me. I want to wash it by myself.
exactly,
I want to wash it by
exactly.
myself. Okay, let's not
Even
assume you want to wash.
even pounded there. I'm like, I when
I
I was
tell
getting
you,
married, yeah, when I was getting married something years ago, my place, you're giving mortar and grinding stone as wedding
yes,
gift. My mortar is there. I've not used it for the past 10 years
there's a
because
pounding machine.
you
Why
know
would you not kill yourself pounding yam every day?
People
Especially
say
for people
I want to eat there. It has to be natural. Now, even when my father came to visit in Port Harcourt, my father is one person who will say, hey, it has to be natural. But when he came, I told him nobody's going to pound it for you. He started that was how he started eating that pound flour, till today.
So
Yeah.
let's learn to maximize the
It's
time we have.
yeah.
The same 24 hours you have is what Bill Gates have. So if he's going to be achieving more, if he's achieving more with his own time, what stops you from achieving more with your own time? And the last thing I also want to add is let's rest. A lot of
Rest, yeah,
us,
exercise, yeah. I
yes,
that was
rest,
actually my last point.
exercise,
Yeah.
eat well. Motivational speakers will tell us that we used to sleep at night. They say we have slept, like me now, I'm 36 years. They say I've slept for 20 years. I've slept for 20 years.
And also
I say,
because I was living that part for the last, exercising, taking vacations, taking time
yes,
out,
rest.
to rejuvenate yourself and
Yourself, be
get
energized.
refreshed, and
Yes,
also learn to breathe, learn to take breathing exercise every day, as in not don't just feel that because you're still alive, you're breathing, that's
everything
enough.
is
No,
fine.
learn to take time out and breathe. Learn. No, it's if you go on YouTube, you find breathing exercise. Learn to take time out to breathe. There's so lot of flexible. And when you're exercising, you exercise is different fast. Like somebody like me, you can't find me doing all these hey boo 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 blah, blah. My own basic exercise is just taking a walk. I won't run. But so don't think because this person is gymming and carrying weight and doing all that, then you too want to. That's how you have to know yourself,
Yes,
understand yourself. Yes, I walk and I dance. Those are my two forms of exercises:
exercise.
walking,
Yes,
yeah, and dancing. If you feel you can go weightlifting and all that one, do. But if you don't, if you know you can't and you want to do it because the next person it. Sorry, not be your case. You really need to understand yourself and okay, well, as we're talking a while ago, what there's a lot of machines out there that has been produced, for the purpose of even lessen our own man hour on things. Just like we're talking about that poundo yam now, just like we're talking about grinding stone. So people still sit down and want to grind stone when they
They
are
tell
blenders.
you, they
You
will tell you
know,
blender will not be sweet. Try this one, it used to be
yeah,
sweet.
washing machines are there, a whole lot of things. So don't kill yourself, oh.
Right, so
That's just
thank you
it.
very
Yeah,
much, Madam Francisca.
yeah,
We had
yeah.
a very good time with you.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you
I
so much.
appreciate you so greatly.
So we don't have question, but I want to believe that we had everything clear, like we have everything well spelled out. So in the absence of question, we're going to be ending this session and we're going to be coming back for the last session where I'm going to deliver my own presentation. In the next within 30 minutes, I should be done. I should be done. I really do not have so much. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm going to end this live video. Please we'll come back immediately and please do join us when we come back. Thank you.
Thank you.